Better is a neighbor who is near than a brother far away. So Solomon is telling us the importance. If you live, you are fellowshipping with brethren. Build friendship in that area. Those people will become better brothers than your own brother who is far away. Men that your father had as his friends. People that came to see your father, for example, when he was alive. People that helped your father, that stood by you. Don't neglect them. Those people are a treasure. They are more than silver and they are more than gold. There are people that were my father's friends, and I value them the way my father valued them. And they were true friends. They were true friends. They understood him. They could stand with him in the hour of need. Those are people you should never ever lose. Let them always be around you. Be wise, my son, and make my heart glad, that I may reply to him who reproaches me. So he says, if I have a wise son, those who reproach me, I am not going to even waste time with them. Because my son is wise. My son will win. My son will succeed. A prudent man sees evil and hides himself. The knave proceed and pay the penalty. So wisdom tells you to discern that there is a problem and avoid the problem. There are problems that we find ourselves in just because we lacked wisdom. And is it possible that today the situation you are in is because you lacked wisdom? Had you had wisdom, you would have avoided it. It's moments in my life where, because I lacked wisdom, I put myself in a mess. And there are moments also where wisdom has saved me a lot of trouble. So I know the value of wisdom. And that's why I pray that every day my life is inspired and driven by wisdom. Take his garment when he becomes surety for a stranger, and for an adulterous woman hold him in pledge. He who blesses his friend with a loud voice early in the morning, it will be reckoned a curse to him. So here it's just talking about hypocrisy. When someone talks so well about you, but it is all hypocritical. He doesn't mean it. Verse 15 and 16 goes back into marriage and talks about the behavior of some women in marriage. And he said, a constant dripping on a day of steady rain and a contagious woman are alike. He who would restrain her restrains the wind and gripes oil in his right hand. So what Solomon is saying is that, leakage in the house, in the roof, when it's just raining steadily, he says it is like a contentious woman. And he says, this contentious woman, if you try to restrain her, it is like you are trying to restrain wind. You cannot stand here with your palms to blow this direction. You cannot. That is the same thing that is the same thing that happens with a contentious woman. There was a time we went to church on Sunday, and there was a young couple fighting, and man was chasing the woman, and the woman jumped onto the property of the church, and the man was now scared he couldn't come on the property. But something that was so interesting was the woman. Man, I have never seen someone like that. That lady could not be restrained. She told that man everything, including anything. And I remember one of the statements that she said, the man told her, I will beat you. I will beat you seriously. I will break those legs of yours. And she told him, man, you are free to do anything. You can break my legs. You can break my arms. But you will never stop my mouth. I will tell you anything that I think I should tell you. And of course she did. And she said, she was like a flood. Words were uncontrollable, talking of vomiting words. That's it. That is what the Bible calls a contentious woman. Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens another. So, if you want to sharpen iron, you use iron to sharpen it. And this is what it is saying. Like, for example, in marriage, both of us come together, the husband and wife, but we are not perfect. But in the process of time, as we live together, we start perfecting each other. There are things in your life that you never saw as a problem, but your wife can help you understand that this is not right. And honestly, it's not right. Your wife can help you. In the corporation, on the praise team, on the media department, on the ushering department, the teams, as you go out as evangelical teams to go and win souls, you come to a point where sometimes some people, because of their relationship, certain weaknesses are exposed, and your friend helps you to check that problem. So iron sharpens iron, and so is the countenance of the man, his friend. He who tends the fig tree will eat its fruit, and he who cares for his master will be honored. So here is just giving us the value of work, the value of honor. If you are working on a project, that project will bring results, will bring fruits for you. If you sow honor in other people, if you sow honor, if you respect other people, that honor will come back to you. As in water first reflects first, so the heart of the man reflects of the man. So in other words, he says, whatever you do, the way you walk around, whatever you say reveals your heart. So Jesus said, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Yeah? Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, nor are the eyes of the man ever satisfied. So Solomon says, there are two places that have never been satisfied, and he calls them, that is Sheol, and that is the netherland, that is the nether world, that is that spiritual world, or the place of destruction, Abaddon. Abaddon is a place of destruction. So he says Sheol and Abaddon have never been satisfied. So are the eyes of a man. The eyes of a man are never satisfied. There is no single day when someone will say, I have watched this thing until my eyes are satisfied. They cannot see anymore. The eyes of a human being are ever ready to see something again. The crispo is for silver and the furnace for gold, and each is tested by the praise accorded him. Though you bound this verse 22 is one I wish I could have the whole year to talk about it. He says, though you bound a fool in a mortar with pistol along with crushed grain, yet his foolishness will not depart from him. Solomon says is that if you put, let me just use the normal language. If you took a mortar and you put there ground nuts, simsim, maize, and you also put a foolish person in there, and you started crushing those things, you will crush all the simsim, all the ground nuts, all the maize or the corn will be crushed into powder. But a foolish person will never change. He will just remain as he was. The most stubborn spirit that will never ever change is a foolish spirit. Know well the condition of your flocks and pay attention to your herds. For riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. So here Solomon is just saying, always take care of whatever you have very well. Jesus said, if you are faithful in a little, you'll be given much. If you have been given a department, if you have been given a job, if you have been given a department to oversee wherever, whether a church, whether it is in a place of work, make sure that you do everything in that department with the spirit of excellence. And I'm telling you, great things will happen to you. You will be honored. When the grass disappears, a new growth is seen, and the harps of mountains are gathered in. The lambs will be for your clothing, and the goats will bring the prize of a field. And there will be goat's milk enough for your food, and the food of your household, and sustenance for your maidens. So Solomon is talking about working so well where you are working, because from your work, you know, this is what he says. Wealth is not permanent if you don't work on it. If you work on wealth, if you can maintain your wealth. But if you stop working, many people will labor for and create wealth, and then they come to a point of just complacence. They don't want to work and everything. You will lose it. And you will die. You will die in misery. Not because someone stole from you, but because you lacked diligence. So make sure that you upgrade the way you manage the resources God has given you. Upgrade every resource God has given you, because tomorrow you will need its fruit. Tomorrow you will need its fruit. So upgrade those things. Take care of those things that God has given you. The cattle, the sheep that you are taking care of today, that sheep will clothe you tomorrow. The goats that you have, those goats will give you milk, and you will be able from this herd to go and purchase more pieces of property. So it's important. Don't lose what you have. Today, if you have 2 head of cattle, or 2 sheep, or 2 goats, tend those goats so well. Those goats are going to be multiplied. Tomorrow they will not be 2. They will be 4. And next year they will not be 4. They will be 6 or 7 or 8. And they will keep multiplying, and you will marvel. And take care of the lambs. Take care of those little goats. Take care of those calves. Everything God has given you, take care of it. Because tomorrow you will need it. If you destroy it today, tomorrow you will not have anything. So that is what we learn from this, and it will give you. So simply put, from verse 23, let me just read it again. Know well the condition of your flocks and pay attention to your herds, for riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. You know, if you are not preparing your children to take over, how are they going? How is the crown that is on you? If you are a member of parliament, if you are a congressman, if you are a senator, if you are a president or a governor, if you are a business owner, and you're not preparing your children to grasp the vision and run with it, you don't have the future. Your business doesn't exist. It is only going to last for as long as you are alive and you are strong. The day you will fall sick, that is the end of your business. That is not the wisdom of God. The wisdom of God is try to incorporate other people and teach them the vision, and particularly your sons and your daughters, your husband and your wife, so that in your absence, they are able to run the vision that God has put in you. Thank you so very much. I look forward to seeing you again as we go into chapter 28.
Thank you for joining us today. Catch us tomorrow, same time.